Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Offsides Podcast. We was just in here chopping it up a little bit. Pete, what's up? How you doing, brother?
What's up, man? Chilling. Hoping this weather gets a little bit better.
Oh, it will, it will. Josh, if you unmute, man, let me know how you doing. Your camera off. Josh joining us. He's our special guest today since we're a little short. This episode. Condolences out to James and his family. June, I think, is still working, so it's all good, man. But what I want to get on here today just to talk real quick on a few little things. Jared Goff getting paid. Got paid, what was it? 200 and something mil. I got it right here. $212 million with 170 million guaranteed. How do you feel about that, Pete? What's your take?
It's the going rate for quarterbacks. Look, Daniel Jones got paid, so why wouldn't Goff get paid? Next is, you got Tua, um, Trevor Lawrence, Jordan Love. That's the going rate for quarterbacks. Everybody's, you see what happened in the draft. Atlanta took Penix after they had just signed Cousins. It's the team's desperation to get that position right, and they got a good solid quarterback after the trade of Stafford. They got a great team around them, so why not make sure that quarterback position is signed and sealed for the next 4 or 5 years?
No, you're right. What's your take on? I'm gonna ask a question after. I asked Josh this. So, we talking about Jared Goff getting paid $212 million, 170 mil guaranteed 4-year deal. Dak Prescott's out there trying to get paid. Do you think that this is going to impact Prescott's negotiation?
Unbiased answer, absolutely. Because just like I forget his name, just said he said Daniel Jones got paid, and which resulted to Goff getting broken off, right? Goff had a really good season, if I'm not mistaken. So in Dak, he's I think the last 4 or 5 seasons been winning seasons for them. I can't remember the last time Dallas had a losing season as far as like record wise. Below 500. So it's absolutely it only makes sense to show you're committed to that quarterback. Now, if that's not the route Jerry Jones trying to go, then I don't think he would. But if history repeats and everything aligns like it's looking like it should, your QB1s, they need to get paid.
So I thought, here's why I brought it up, right? Because we think that's the trending, right? One quarterback gets paid, resets the market, the next one gets paid. I just feel like Dak shouldn't get paid all that money. And here's why. When you look at what Jared Goff has done, went to the Rams, #1 overall, went to a Super Bowl with the Rams. McVay didn't like him, think that he couldn't get it done, so he trades for Stafford, goes to the Lions, goes to the playoffs, and takes him to the NFC Championship. That if it wasn't for the head coach making bad decisions, right, kick the field goal, punt the ball, he would have been in Super Bowl. And we don't know what that would have looked like because it's a whole different team. So I feel like with Goff, he's already proven that, hey, no matter what team you put me on, as long as I got the right system, the right things around me, I could be successful. With Dak Prescott, he's great in the regular season, but he gets to the postseason and he chokes. The dude hasn't even been last time the Cowboys went to the NFC Championship, 95, 96?
Yeah, 95. Yeah.
95.
And
So,
you can make an argument that's not really Dak's fault too, because that's just the Cowboys culture right now, and don't at me because I'm not I'm a Buccaneer fan. It's just I'm just being honest. That's the culture of Dallas right now. You make a lot of noise during the regular season. Every 4 or 5 years, you might win a playoff game, but you always get put out typically in the first round, and you're back to the drawing board. So if you make an argument, you can make an argument Goff deserves it way more. Absolutely. Absolutely. But if you do I don't know what Jones did better than Dak, to deserve to get paid. But Dak if you're going to pay Jones, why wouldn't you pay Dak?
Well, Jones, I think, he was eligible to get paid at that time. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like they said, oh, yeah, we got to keep him. It was more like he was a free agent at the time. Dak had gotten paid too. Dak's just about to get paid again.
Yeah.
But he probably priced himself out of Dallas at this point because he's gonna like Frank said, every time a quarterback gets paid, the next one wants to get more than that. So you got Tua, you got Lawrence, Jordan Love coming up now. Dak is gonna want to, probably go definitely about what Goff is getting, not what Joe Burrow is getting, but definitely about what Goff is getting.
June, what's your take on it, June? We talking about Goff getting paid 4-year deal, 212 with 170 guaranteed. He got paid based on what he's done for the team. What he's done. Now we got Dak Prescott who's trying to get paid. Do you think that Dak Prescott should get paid as much as Goff or more? Or you think he should get paid maybe like a Kirk Cousins?
No. I think that the thing with Dak, man, the one thing that the thing that I'm gonna say is Dak had his opportunity. Dak had his opportunity to solidify that type of contract, and he's blown it the last few years. And even though I talk a lot of shit about the Cowboys, which I completely hate 110%, I'm not gonna change that. I just want to make that clear. They're just unbelievably trash, right? So, all right, let me just get back to it. So, the thing about the Cowboys and the thing about Jerry Jones is that he stands his ground, and he's not going to sit here and keep on paying Dak that long-term money if he's not proven, but he's keeping him around long enough to keep the team relevant enough to at least make it to the wild card or the first round. And he's pretty good for that. That's proven. And that's a shot. That's a shot towards the Cowboys fans in case they didn't get it. But he is good enough to make it to the wild card or the first round. The thing with Goff, in my opinion, I think he overcame that type of adversity, and he's gotten that team to levels that they haven't reached since 1893. So that's why I particularly think Dak, this is a make or break year for Dak. Like, my dude, should get off the pot because your opportunities and your ship, they've come and they're about to sell.
Yeah, I don't think so. When I saw the comparison and I look at the something that Shady said was numbers don't tell the whole story. And you hear that men lie, women lie, numbers don't. But we can compare numbers. That don't mean that one hasn't had more success than the other. But if you look at the numbers, you would think they're about equal. I don't know. I don't think Dak should get paid as much as Goff. I think Goff went out there and improved it. You know what I'm saying? I feel like, hey, you know what? Because we wouldn't be having this conversation if he didn't show that team that I can take you to levels you ain't been to in 35 years. That was their first time ever going to NFC Championship game. And I think the last time they went to the playoffs, it was like a one and done thing with Stafford. I think Stafford took them to the playoffs last, and it was early. So I mean, I don't know, but shout out to him for getting paid, and we'll see what Dak does. I don't think they're gonna sign him, bro. I don't think so. I think they're gonna let him play out this year. If it gets too bad, they might bring in Trey Lance to try to shop him around, give him some little exposure. Hopefully he looks good, and then they could trade him to another team to get some picks. But I don't think Dak's gonna be there. And I get it. We're gonna have to but we have to put the mistakes on him. The picks that come in the playoffs, that's on him. He's a quarterback with experience. Well, he got over 8 years in the league. We're not talking about a rookie or a 2-year starter. We're talking about a guy that's been there that should have enough experience to not make the mistakes he was making. You know what I'm saying? With the team he got. So I'm gonna ask Pete this. If you put Goff on the Cowboys, how far you think they'll go? You muted.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's not forget, Goff got one of the best offensive lines. He's got good weapons. He's got St. Brown. He's got Montgomery and Gibbs in the backfield. He's got I think the Lions are a better team than Dallas. Dallas, weapon wise, they got CeeDee Lamb. That's it to me. Oh, and let's not forget Laporta on the Lions. So
Yeah.
offense is pretty much stacked. That the Lions have. Not a shot against Goff. But I think the question is better is if you put Dak on the Lions, do they get to the NFC Championship game? That to me is the more interesting question, and you're shaking your head no already, so that answers it for me.
Yeah. I mean, think about it, because that's a good reversal, right? They had Gallup, they had Amari Cooper, they had weapons. I mean,
Gallup. You said Gallup, bro.
well, I mean, he's not the greatest, but you had Cooper. What I'm saying is you had a set of receivers. You had Zeke in his prime. You had a good tight end. I don't think, I say this. I don't see it in the Lions. If you tell me he goes to maybe another masterminded offensive guy that can get the best out of him, then maybe. And here's why. I do believe that all these quarterbacks playing did something right in their career to be starters in the NFL. And I also feel like if you have an outstanding defense, a great defense, I mean, a superb defense, that he might get lucky and just have to manage the game. Go ahead, June. What's up?
So now I kind of refer the question back to Frank. Now Goff does have Gibbs. He does have these other weapons that are not just making Goff who he is, but they're making that Lions team what they are. Now, if you were to put Dak Prescott in the Lions with the weapons that the Lions have, will we still be talking about these interceptions that Dak is throwing? Because he didn't have a good backfield last year. So I think a lot of the pressure really did fall back on Dak. And I think that's what ultimately constituted the result of that playoff run.
So to answer your question, I don't think Dak has it in him in the postseason. I think in the regular season, Dak is great. I think he'll get you 4,000 plus yards. He'll throw probably 30 touchdowns, maybe average of 10 picks. But I think when you get to the postseason, it's a different mentality, bro. And I just don't see it. I don't see it. I don't. I mean, who did he have on the Rams when they went to the Super Bowl? They had Cooks, right? Brandon Cooks. They had
Robert Woods.
Yeah, and who else?
Cooper Kupp.
Cooper Kupp was there?
Yeah.
Kupp, they had the running back that injured his knee.
Yeah.
Gurley.
Yeah, Gurley. After that season, Gurley was arthritis out. You know what I'm saying? So, and if you want to go to coaching, they lost that Super Bowl because they didn't adjust. Bill looked at the film and said, "Oh, we're gonna go to man because we're gonna go to zone because they struggle with zone. They can't beat the zone." And he changed that the week of the Super Bowl. So I don't know. I don't think Dak. I like Dak, but like I said, I think he's a good regular season quarterback. Coming to the postseason, but he only has 2 wins, man. And we can't say that he's had trash teams this whole time on the Cowboys. And you can't say the Eagles were #1 team all the time in his 8 years. And we can't say the Giants. There was times where the Cowboys were poised to be that team and had the chance. It's just I don't think it's in him, bro. I don't think he got that dog in him when it comes to the postseason. That's just it, man. But as we talk about the dog in the season and the postseason and the regular season, NFL schedule came out. So I did get all our schedules. I'm gonna show them and get our predictions of what we think our teams are gonna look like. Within, let's say, the first 6 weeks. I think that's fair. What? How many? First 6 weeks is good. But what I wanted to talk to before that is, so the Chiefs face the Ravens on the opener on Thursday, and then the following week they face the Bengals. I'm gonna start with Josh. Do you think the Chiefs will go 2-0, 1-1, or 0-2? If they do go 0-2, what does that look like for them?
I think the Ravens need to make a bold statement. So they're going to lose to the Ravens. They probably still got Super Bowl fever, despite they've been there and shouldn't. But I think they're going to have Super Bowl fever. They don't have too much to prove. If history repeats, last year they lost their opener, so I think this year, it takes them a while to warm up. Based off of what we seen last season, who'd have thought they'd make it all the way and do that? So I think they go 1-1. Joe Burrow coming off an injury. Obviously, he's probably going to want to do too much and prove that he's still back, but you got to get back in the swing of things in a real actual game. Practice is practice, but a real game is a real game. It's totally different, man. Them linebackers are flying faster. They're actually trying to touch you. So, at best, 1-1. Definitely not 2-0. And if they go 0-2, honestly, I don't know. I'm not convinced that they're going to have a horrible year, because what I've seen them be able to do and turn it up and win when it counts toward the end of the season. So that's my take on that.
Pete, what about you, man? What you think?
I don't see 0-2. 1-1. I wouldn't be surprised at 1-1. I'd be kind of surprised at 2-0 because they're two good teams. But if they do, the loss to me would come to Baltimore, not to Cincinnati.
Okay.
But if they're able to beat Baltimore, then I'd say 2-0.
Okay. And so I don't know, man. I would like to see him go 1-1, but I like to see him go beat the Ravens, because that's gonna be, the ring ceremony, everything like that, but lose to the Bengals. I want to see Joe Burrow come back and reclaim the North and say, you know what? I'm the only cat besides Brady you can't beat like that. So I want to get back to that. June, what's your take on it, man? How you feel about it? Do you think that it matters? Do you think, like Josh said, we've seen them, they've only lost back-to-back games 4 times since Mahomes started. Do you think it matters? This is important. Think about it. The two teams they're facing ideally could be the ones that run their division. So this could be a tiebreaker come playoff time, So what's your take on it, June?
I think it's interesting. I think I think that the Chiefs that we seen last year, to where they struggled to be consistent, I don't think that we're gonna see that again. I think they're gonna fix those issues, and they're gonna come out a little bit more poised and a little bit more on target than what they were in how they started last year and how they finished. Now, I mean, the level of difficulty based on the draft and the trades and the signings this year, I think that's going to obviously play a huge factor when they play these other dominant teams. But playing in Baltimore, I wasn't extremely wowed by the offseason. I think they pretty much stayed stagnant. They added a key piece, but we're talking about the miscues that the Super Bowl, back-to-back Super Bowl champions are going to bring to the table. And that's going to be the adjustments, which is going to be key. So I think they will defeat Baltimore. And depending on how they do with that, I think they could defeat the Bengals too, because I'm not a huge believer in the Bengals And I told you guys that a long time ago, and that's all based on the poor drafting and the signings that they've done to protect their quarterback in Cincinnati. So because of those two reasons right there, Kansas City goes 2-0.
What's up, Josh?
So June, you said Baltimore didn't add no key pieces offseason?
Not, I mean, who they add besides that big
Did they
body?
not? Did they not add Mr. Derrick Henry?
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, who they lose though?
They lost
I-
and Odell. They didn't really lose. Not much that I remember, to be honest.
They the
I don't
number
know.
one number one Russian, and they just add beast machine. So they don't they don't even need to throw. They just run every down, bro. They got Gus. They you know what I mean? That's what I
I'm
would
gonna
do.
say it like this, Josh. Baltimore is playing the Kansas City Patriots. They don't have that many stars, but they will play like all stars on the team that they have, and that's the strategy that they picked off the Patriots. So for that reason, I'm gonna go with Kansas City.
I like that. I like that, man. So now to keep on the schedule, I have the Patriots and Giants first, and then I'm gonna pull up Bucks and Chiefs. I'm gonna share the screen, and you know you can tell me what you guys think. I'm gonna tell you where I think my team will be at within the first 6 weeks because this was very horrible when I saw it. The fact that we got to face Burrow and company, I don't care what you say, John, the Burrow and company in week 1, and he's had time to heal. So for the first 6 weeks, we got Bengals, then we got Seahawks, Jets, 49ers, and Dolphins and Texans, man. I see us going like 2-4, at best 3-3. At best. 2-4, I see. I think we can get the Jets early. That's Aaron Rodgers coming back. Our defense should be straight. I don't know what Drake May's gonna look like if he even starts. And I think we can probably get the Dolphins early. But other than that, maybe Seahawks, but 49ers and Bengals, I don't see us beating. And then the Texans, if they pick up right where they left off at, man, that's gonna be tough. You know what I'm saying? That's my take. 2-4, maybe 3-3 at best, 500 through the first 6 weeks. Pete, what do you think about the Giants, bro?
So red is away. So I'll go with those first. Out of the first 6 weeks, it's tough. It's tough to say because they tried to build up the defense by trading for Burns. So if anything, it'd be the defense kind of winning these games because they're very, I would say, mediocre on offense. So definitely I see them losing to Cleveland, in Cleveland. Washington, I don't know, in week 2. I don't know about week 1 against Minnesota because it could be Darnold, it could be JJ McCarthy. You know, we don't know. But the last 3 games out of the first 6, Dallas at home, that's Thursday night.
Mm-hmm.
They always got a tough time against Dallas. Seattle, that's on the road. I'm gonna say that's probably a loss because they don't play well up there. Even though I think they beat them last time they went to Seattle, but that wasn't that really good year they had a couple of years ago. So depends. Again, it depends on how the defense is. I think this is a defensive year because of the way they built the defense up. And week 6 at home, Sunday Night Football. If there's a win there that's more of a shocking win that no one's really going to see coming, I could see it coming against the Bengals on Sunday Night Football. So I would say optimistically 3-3, realistically 1-5.
Okay, I'll take that. You guys want to say anything about it before I go to the Eagles and Tampa Bay?
Only Giant fans are going to talk about the Giants, bro.
Giants. Giants. three-
Giants. Oh, I said only Giants fans want to talk about the Giants.
I see the Giants going 3 and what is it, 4-2, honestly.
Really?
If they got their stuff together, I could honestly see them. I think they could really pull the upset against the Browns and beating the Cowboys. Because I think Minnesota and Washington. See, gosh, you know what? I'll take it back. 500 because and the reason I said that is just that big W was facing me, man. And I think that Washington, I said that Washington is going to be my sleeper team this year, because of all the crazy additions on the low price.
But I tell you what, that looks good that y'all knocking out Washington out within the first 9 weeks of the season, though. That's one division rival gone right then. You know, you ain't got really much to worry about. And you play the Eagles and Cowboys once. So what you think, Josh? What you got?
I say, let's see, through week 6. That's what. I got them losing. Shoot, I got them losing to. You know what? I got them going 4-2.
Okay.
I'm not pessimistic. I'm just more realistic because of the last couple of years. So I like to see how it plays out. That's why, I said 1-5 realistically. But
I mean, listen, we don't know what the Vikings are going to look like.
exactly, yeah.
You don't.
Washington, like June said, is a new team. We don't know what that's going to look like. The Browns, is old boy Deshaun Watson. So what? And the Cowboys, again, and the Seahawks, you got to travel there, I don't know. But yeah, I think that's fair. I think it's fair, man. Listen, I think it's fair. What you think about the Pats, guys? What y'all got it going? I don't think they're going. I said 2-4.
Yo, I was looking at that right now, man, and I was like, damn, boy, they got their work cut out the first 6 weeks. It's almost like a setup for y'all.
Yeah, that
But
looks worse than the Giants, bro.
Hey, I say 2. Also, 2-4.
yeah, I say, I don't know. I could give them a 2 and a possible.
Okay. Pete, what you got?
In them first 6,
Yeah.
1-5, and that win coming against Seattle at home.
Yeah, that's good too. I can see that. I'm gonna see. We're gonna see what that defense look like. We're gonna see it. I'm hoping Burrow has a slow start to the season. All right, let me bring up the Eagles.
They're not gonna do too much with him, man, because they don't want him getting hurt all in game 1. I don't see them doing a lot.
Ooh,
Burrow. I don't see them doing a lot.
All right, so here we got the Eagles to the left. Tampa right there. June, what you got your team going? First 6 weeks. Oh, y'all got a bye week in 5? Okay, first 7 weeks. First 7 weeks for you guys.
I know. Honestly, it's gonna sound very biased, of course. But I got us going 6-0. The first 7 weeks. I really do, to be honest with you. I don't see. I think we're gonna come out very dominant in Brazil, and depending on what Green Bay brings to the table and how consistent Love is carrying that positive momentum from last year to the first week, that's really going to dictate a lot for Green Bay. And then I think it's going to be pretty good, a good game against Atlanta. But I think overall, our issue, in my opinion, we know what happened last year offensively, but I always said our secondary was their issue. And now we have more than enough pieces. Now we just got to pick and choose and plug and play who we're going to keep and who we're going to go and do what. So I honestly, I see us beating Atlanta. I see us beating New Orleans. I see us going to the Bucks, and me and Josh and you and Pete, we're gonna meet down there at the Buck Stadium, and we're gonna be laughing, and Josh is gonna be drinking his drink, and I'm gonna be like, I told you, and then he's just gonna chug it. I can see that happening. And then the Browns in New York, and I don't know. This is me, man. I see it at 6 now.
All right. Josh, what about your team, man?
Um, it's gonna be ugly. The first couple of weeks, man, because our offense is not known as like a powerhouse. This is Baker Mayfield's second year. Hopefully, he's got the playbook down packed to the point where everything flows, and it's timing. It's time, right? As far as the execution of the plays. So, not really worried about Washington. So that's a dub. The Lions, I think we're going to take an L there. It's going to be close, but I think we're gonna take an L there. Broncos, that's going to be a dub. Eagles, it's too early in the season for the Eagles to be clicking on all cylinders. So I think that's going to be a dub. They added some new secondary, but I'm looking forward to the chemistry not being there for their secondary that early in the season. So that's why I think it's going to be a nail biter. But we'll come out with the dub since we're at home. And then Atlanta, same thing. They got a beefed up team, but I don't think the chemistry is going to be there that early. And we just paid off our secondary, so we locked in our secondary. So we're not worried about Cousins and his passing attack. And then we own the Saints, you know what I'm saying? So everybody knows that. So no disrespect to the Saint fans out there. I'm just stating facts here. So that's 6, right? 1, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. So we losing. We win it. So we on 5-1. Losing to the Detroit.
5-1. All right, Pete, what you think? Beat both of them.
So Eagles, I don't know what record. I can't say what record they're gonna have, but I'll tell you what the games I see as a little bit of an issue. The first one, if Green Bay has that momentum from the little playoff run, that's not gonna be an easy game, the first one. And I see the Browns game, being that it's in Cleveland. Oh no, that's at home.
Yeah, they at home.
Oh, okay. So that see, I would now I flip it because I would see it if they were in Cleveland, I would see the defense as a little bit of an issue for Jalen Hurts. But now, being that it's in Philly, Deshaun Watson hasn't really shown too much since he's been with Cleveland. So yeah, I think the only real problem game is I'm sorry, since I got that mixed up, the home and away, the Tampa Bay game. Because if they got them, it's September, it's gonna be hot. That Tampa Bay game is not going to be easy, and neither is the Green Bay game for me. For the Eagles, those are the only 2 problem games I see. I think they beat easily Monday Night Football. Kirk Cousins, that's their home opener. I don't think the Saints are much of a threat, and the Giants, the Giants are rebuilding. So yeah, I see those 2 games, week 4 and week 6, and week 1 and week 4. I see those games as a little bit trouble spots. And the Bucks are good last year. Yeah, the Lions one is tough because it's on the road, and the Eagles one is at home. I think that's I think that's an interesting game. And y'all both going to you from down there too, Josh? You in Tampa?
Yeah, I'm from Tampa.
Oh, all right. So that's cool. But the Lions game is tough. It's tough for me to say who's gonna lose right now because we don't know what's gonna happen. But yeah, the Lions game and the Eagles game. The other games I think Tampa takes care of easily.
Okay. All right. Then I think Eagles, they've been consistent, so but I'm hoping so the issue, June, and we talked about this on the other ones. I think we talked about it here. Eagles are kind of shifting away from being a defensive minded team to being more offensive. Like they're putting a team on Jalen Hurts' back. And I want to know how that's gonna look. You know what I'm saying? Brazil might be easy, it might not, it depends. We got a more veteran team on one side with a very young team being in Brazil. It's the first game in Brazil, all the press, all that good stuff. So you know, that's good. That plays a part too. The weather, are they playing outside? It's very different weather out there. So we'll see. But I honestly I could see you going a 5-1, you know, 5-1, depending how the chemistry's there. But I could see 5-1. Yeah, bringing back your receivers. You got us, and if Saquon stays healthy, that's another thing too. He got to stay healthy. And Josh, the Bucks, man. Win.
But remember, we went what? We went 10-0 last year.
I was about to say that, yeah.
With the most suspect secondary that I could probably think of, and now that we added those key pieces to, well, not key pieces, the key piece, another piece to the offense. My peace of mind came with C.J. Gardner, Isaiah Rodgers, Quentin Mitchell, the other corner that we drafted, but DeJean, you know, and those key pieces in the defense is what gave me a peace of mind to sit here and be like, all right, cool. And the only thing that bothers me a little bit is that bye week being about week 5 with a Saquon out there. And like you said, that healthy piece at week 5 being that bye week is my concern.
No, that's fair. That's fair. But again, I don't see you guys losing half these games. I see you guys winning the majority of them, to be honest with you. I think you'll be in a good spot going into the bye week and coming out of it. I just think that's kind of early, man. Week 5? Oh.
It is early. I mean, it's not the earliest I've seen. I've seen week 4, so it is early, but it's not. I've seen, you know, I think it's week 4 is the earliest I've seen.
Yeah, that's super early. 4? I mean, the Bucks probably go. Let's see. They catch Washington with their pants down. Old boy starting. The Lions, they should have consistency. We don't know what the Broncos gonna look like. Eagles, that could be a difficult one, but the weather does play a part. Then the Falcons in Atlanta, Kirko, and then they got to go down to New Orleans. I could see him going 4-2 to start off. I could see that. So now the toughness of schedule. This is, remember, June, we had that big discussion last season on the play call of the schedule. So they came out with it. The Falcons got the least toughest schedule. They ranked 32. Starting from number 1, it'd be the Browns, Ravens, Steelers, Green Bay, Texans, Buffalo, New York, Jags, Raiders, Pats, Lions, Cowboys, Rams, Jets, Niners, Bengals, Chiefs, Vikings, Commanders, Broncos, Colts, Eagles are number 22. So Giants number 7, Eagles 22, Titans 23, Cardinals 24, Dolphins 25, Seahawks 26, Chargers 27, Bucks 28, 29 the Panthers, Chicago number 30, 31 is the Saints, and Falcons 32. How do you guys feel about it? You know, me and Pete in the top 10. You know what I'm saying? That kind of sucks, but and we're both rebuilding. But go ahead. What you think about it, Pete?
I mean, if you look at the first 3 teams, they're all in the same division.
Yeah.
They all were playoff teams last year. So if you look at it from last year's record, they all had good records. That's why the strength of schedule is what it is. And then you go to the Giants. The Giants had the Cowboys, who won the division. I don't remember how many wins they had. They may have had 12. Eagles had how many wins, June? 11? Last year?
Yeah.
So you look at that. Those are 2 teams in their own division that have, you know, double-digit wins. So that's why they're going to be up there. And then Green Bay had Detroit in their division. So you're going to have, it's going to look like that because of the teams that are in their own division with high records, and you played them twice. So that's why, you know, Buffalo had a lot of wins. That's why Buffalo and the Dolphins, they both had double-digit wins, I believe, and the Patriots are in the division. That's the way I see it. That's how it transfers over to toughest schedule. It doesn't mean, to me, it doesn't mean too much. And then you look at Atlanta, they have they have the softest schedule. Why? Because they had the Panthers, who lost the most games in the league in their division, and they had the Saints, who weren't too good in their division. So that's how it kind of translates over for me.
June?
And I ain't gonna lie, man. You know, that was a big conversation last year
Yeah.
on the play call. And the year before that too, I want to say. But you know, to me it's and we made a good point last year when we spoke about it. Like the strength of schedule looks like this now, but they still have to go out there and they still have to play and make it work. So the strength of schedule may look tough, but then you're gonna have those teams like if last year somebody would have been going against the Texans, we would have been like, man, look at that, man. For the first time, like, dang, man, they're going against the Texans. And then look what they did.
Yeah.
And then again, now you got like the Browns, you know, just another example. And you're going against the Browns, they ain't got a quarterback, but boom, look what they did. So to me, the strength of schedule is a huge foresight, so to speak, to see what we got going on. But ultimately, I think after the first, second to the second, third, you know, maybe 2 to 4 weeks in, we could really see it. Like, you know what, this is the real strength of schedule these guys got going on.
Yeah, I don't before I let Josh go, I think this is dope based on what the schedules come out, but you still got training camp, preseason games, people get injured. That team ain't so strong no more. You know what I'm saying? We start looking at different things. Like you take the Jets probably looking like a powerhouse up until 4 plays in the game last season, the first game of the season. And they went from a powerhouse to not even contending at all. So Josh, what's your take on it, man? How you feel about the strength of schedule?
So I don't know, man. I feel like our schedule's harder than ranked 28, man. You know what I mean? If I remember correctly, man, we got teams. We play the Eagles, we play the Niners. You know what I'm saying? We're playing some tough teams. Detroit, you know what I'm saying? It was a Super Bowl, so have us all the way down there at 28. I don't know, maybe they're taking it solely based off of the division when it comes to strength of schedule, but you need to, you know, think of the whole aspect when you develop the strength of schedule. So, yeah, I don't think ours is accurate. As far as y'all's, yours is probably the worst, right, Frank? Yeah, but who knows, man? You know, it's just nothing concrete until that kickoff happens, man. So you see what's going down and set the tone for the rest of the season this year. So, yeah, that's my take.
All right. So that's it for that. But well, last thing I want to talk about, man, is before we hang it up for the night, unless somebody has something else they want to talk about. But the first thing I want to talk about, or last thing, is Austin Rivers made a comment, man, about 30 basketball players that could walk on the field right now and play football. And the reason I wanted to talk about it is because I watch basketball, and I only watch basketball in the postseason, but I watch football. And I'm not saying that not one player can't transition over either side, right? I think that there are some athletes that can do that. But I did feel like 30 of them is kind of hard. To walk off the basketball court today and get pads on and go in the football field, I don't think 30 can. And then he also said it's not that hard to catch the ball and then go like north and south. And then him and James Jones went back and forth. Ryan Clark even spoke on it. But I'll start with Pete. Pete, what's your take on that, man? How do you feel about that comment? Do you think that there are 30 players that can just get off the basketball court today, get on the football field tomorrow, and be able to do what the football players do?
No. I mean, I know why he said it, because you got, Tony Gonzalez, Antonio Gates, LeBron James played football in high school, Allen Iverson, and those other guys, they were taller guys. 6'4", 6'5", and LeBron James is 6'8", but Allen Iverson was 6 foot tall, if that. He was a quarterback though; he played a different position, but he did play football. So, can they do it? Yeah, I think they can. 30 of them, that's a difference. That's a big number. I don't know if that's accurate. He could, but again, a lot of these talking heads just throw shit out there so they can get engagement. And look, he got it because everybody's talking about this. What he said, he even went back and forth, like you said with James Jones. Like these dudes is gonna go at it. Like these dudes is gonna square up about this shit. Like, but it's a big number to say 30. I think more realistically, 10, maybe. A definite 5, maybe 10, but it's something that because of the height of some of these guys, it can transfer over to the sport, to football.
So before I pass it off, understanding that not everybody's going to be a major role player. You know what I'm saying? I don't expect you take a guy. I take Zion, man. You put him on a defensive line, bro. I mean, that dude's going to be okay. You know what I'm saying? He ain't got to do much running. But I think you take some of these football players. I think position does matter. So June, no, Josh, you was shaking your head. No. What's your what's your take on it? I'll wait until everybody goes and I'll say my piece.
So, I don't know who started it,
Austin,
who?
Austin Rivers, Doc Rivers' son.
So it was okay. So that was before Shannon. So that might have drove the Shannon Sharp first take response.
Yes,
and I did see that, and I will tell you, Shannon hit it right on the money. Basketball is a skill. You got to have you're putting a ball through a small net. That is a skill, right? I understand you can dunk too, but 9 times out of 10, you putting the ball in, that is a skill. Football is a wide open field. So it's not too much skill. There is some, but not too much skill that goes along with that. But you got to have that physical mindset, that physical, I'm talking about the John Lynch days, just hitting people, Ray Lewis, hitting people. He mentioned it was a ignorant comment that you said he said was what is it? You catch a ball and you run more than stop. No, it's a whole lot more than that in football. Football is a contact sport. You're expected to get contact, and it's a whole lot more tougher contact than you would expect to have on a basketball court. So you got to be built for that, and you got to have that mental, physical aspect, willpower to will yourself through a game. You know what I mean? So physically, you know, you got offensive linemen pushing 400-pound grown men the whole game for 60 minutes. So to say a 30 basketball, no, man, I can't think of 5. To be honest with you, I can't think of 5. So that's my take on it, man. No, don't at me. Just say it.
I appreciate it. June, what you got?
I think the stamina. I think the stamina is a lot different when it comes down to both sports. I never played in the NBA. I never played in the NFL. However, you know, they run miles in the basketball court, and the stamina there's a lot different versus that what we see here. When they flop because somebody hit their ear, that's a lot different when you get hit when you're on the field. So I can never say I agree with anybody saying that. I don't agree with him at all. I don't think that there's one player in the NBA that could do what somebody does in the NFL and do it consistently. There's no way.
So Ryan Clark said nobody ever like anybody has played. All the basketball players played football at some point in their life. Nobody ever just gets on the football field and says, I'm going to play. They all played it at some point or another. I had a problem with it. And I even have a problem with the fact that Shannon Sharp did say he felt basketball players are more skilled or athletic.
Basketball is a skill, he said.
It's a skill. And he said it, I'll give the basketball players that. And I say, okay, that's fine. Getting the ball in the rim, yes. You got to have the right arc. You know, anybody can throw a ball, but not everybody's going to get in there. But what about a quarterback that's under center? and got 5 or 6 people coming, and you got a blitz coming on the corner, and you try and thread that football down the needle between 2 defenders. And you got to get it right because the timing's got to be there, and you're doing that under duress. Football doesn't have time management, doesn't have game management. They don't take games off. It's 16, 17 games in a season. It's a one-and-done situation. There's no minutes on the sideline. Now, where I'll give basketball its credit is going to be that they're two-way players. There's no, well, we punt the ball, and now the defense comes on. No, that guy has to get the ball, get it off, and then as soon as that is either rebounded, scored, or turnover, it's back on defense and get to it. That's also another thing that I don't think a lot of these football players could do. I just don't. I feel like you should have respect for both sports. That's how I feel. The respect should be there. You shouldn't say 30. And I get it. You got the Tony Gonzalez's, the Jimmy Grahams, Antonio Gates.
Jimmy Graham, yeah.
There was another. A lot of tight ends did play basketball, and they just pivoted over and say, hey, you know, I could go be a tight end in football. Give me that 50-50 ball. I'm gonna be okay, right? But for him to say what he said, and then, you know, also the little comments, because he said, I don't know who James Jones is, or this other stuff. I just felt like there should be respect for both sides. You know what I'm saying? Because even Shannon Sharp did say it. I don't allow football players to say they can go on the court and score 30. You know what I'm saying? Hell, some of the guys might even score 10. So just relax. Stay in your place. And like you said, June, they do run miles. It is a difference, though. I could say they run miles up and down the court, but they're not doing it with pads on.
Micah Parsons said he could average 20 in the NBA, yo.
You gotta watch that with CJ Stroud. That was
20
extremely
points.
funny.
20 points, bro.
I like how CJ Stroud be checking him, bro.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I love how he be calling him out on the gameplay because he be talking out his butt and he be talking that caca. And to me, it's like, you got to put respect on it. But that's what I wanted to talk about, man. You know, obviously more stuff's coming out. They're saying there might be some trades in the works before the season starts. We're almost in June. We're halfway through May, you know, come June and then July, and then we in training camp and then we preseason and it started. So I just want to go around the room. Anybody got some last minute things they want to say? I'll start off with June.
The only thing I'm gonna say is gonna be to the last topic.
Okay.
We heard of the Bo Jacksons. We heard of the Deion Sanders. We heard of multiple football players doing the dual sport thing. And I get it, it's going to probably be impossible due to the seasons. But I mean, you're talking about 16 games or whatnot. But how many have we had that played basketball and football in the same season?
I don't think we have, bro.
Nah, yeah,
Right.
like you said, the seasons kind of, you know, they overlap, so it's tough to do it.
They overlap, but remember, it's only what 16 games or 17 games or whatnot. But that's what I mean. Like,
start taking your hair out, because my friend your hair.
If I was a football player, I'd rather play the baseball game because there's less contact and the skill level is a lot different. So I could easily say in the comment to old buddy, Shannon Sharp, I think baseball is a more skilled sport than basketball. If you're a pitcher, you got to throw the different types of baseball pitches. You have to throw all these different things. I know we're not comparing sports, but like you said, I don't agree with that statement. But it's a good one though. It's a good topic though. I like it.
I think who it came from is what sparked it more than anything. And then the back and forth with him and James Jones. He didn't respond to Ryan Clark, and they both work on ESPN. And I like Ryan Clark. I do. He articulated very well the difference. And he said, I'm gonna split you in half every chance I get. Every chance I get. And I'm gonna split. And I think that's different. You know, we're all older, so we seen an era of basketball where they didn't have the flopping. You know, you play basketball on the court, you didn't call a foul unless you was bleeding, so you might as well just be quiet. We had the Ewings, the Lambeers, we have all these guys at Barkley punching somebody for no reason, choking them out, Spreewell. You know, these guys was different. So now you see this era of the flop, but it's a foul now. You know, you flop and it's you call the foul now. Is they had to ban it in a sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For you to say there's no, I mean, you see some guys flopping in football, like the offensive lineman when the running back or the defense line running back just pushes them a little bit, like, yo, get out of here. And they're like, oh, but you could tell it's a flop because ain't no way a 200-pound back is going to
Yeah.
push a 300-pound lineman. It's not happening. You know, like they don't throw flags like that. But it's interesting, and you're right, Pete. It got us talking about it. You know what I'm saying? So it worked. It definitely did work. I did want to go into some other stuff, but I know we're running on time. We could leave it for next week. Was really the schedules, more about broadcasting. Now you got Netflix hosting the Christmas games, the holiday games. You got Prime doing something. Prime got some good games coming on, unlike the last couple of seasons. So we'll leave that for next week so we can have something to talk about. I'm gonna go around the room again. June, close it out. That's all you had to say, June. You good?
Yep. Hey man, it's good seeing you guys on here. Prayers out to my main man, 300 Grand James. Hope everything is well. Missing you on here, bro. So when we get back on here, we'll chop back up, man. But if you need anything, we're here for you.
Yeah, well, if he comes back next week, we'll put his schedule on and see what he think. Pete, what you got, bro?
Same as what June said. Condolences to James and his family. And it's good to see you guys again. And one person we did forget about the transition from basketball, and someone who did play basketball and was a standout in football was Julius Peppers. Played college in North Carolina.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's another one. It's been, they had some guys there. Josh, what you got, man?
So I couldn't think of anybody until my man said Julius Peppers, but I do know Dion and MJ did the baseball and the basketball, but can't think of anybody who did football and basketball and made an impact. Like, you know what I mean? So it's tough, but yeah, you got to respect the sports. That was a just straight ignorant comment. 30 people, no way. And just like you said, Shannon said, you would never allow someone to talk about, hey, I'll go average this in another sport. This ain't you're not him. You know what I mean? So stay in your place, stay in your profession, and keep it moving. So, but yeah, this is good. I'm excited about the summer camps as many camps come to an end. I think they're coming to an end, and what last minute surprises that's going to arise as these last minute trades are brewing up and coming into light. So I appreciate that.
But man, another good episode, man. Good topics to talk about. I'm glad. Thank you, everybody, for getting on, taking time out. America, y'all don't realize that for the most part, all of us on here have our lives that we got to do. And we take a time out all the time to do this. We do our own research, put up our own numbers. We don't have a production team. There's nobody in our ear telling us, yo, Frank, you're wrong. Correcting it. None of us, as far as I know, played the sport professionally. You know what I'm saying? So we respect it all, man. But thank you for tuning in. Share, like, subscribe, turn on notifications. Let us know we could do better. What topics you want to hear. We try to keep it to a certain level of time. Yeah, man. Keep supporting us. This is Offsides Podcast. Y'all have a good night. Till next week.
Peace.